Whoo! Welcome back, guys. Working on making these. Little simple tool rolls. These are for auger bits. I'll show you that in a second. So, kind of a late start, but it is what it is. There's always something to do. Had to do my trash this morning. We don't take our, we don't have trash pickup at the curb anymore. We take it to the township. It's actually cheaper and more convenient for us. You know, half-mile long driveway. If I had to take the trash tote down there once a week, and it's just, if I'm going that far, I might as well just drive down the road another 3 miles and take my trash to the township. So I had to do that this morning, a couple other chores. Then the little one wanted lunch, so who am I to say no? So I'm out here getting started on these tool rolls, and all I'm really doing is trying to figure out the best way to cut this material to yield the most product. So I've got my material all laid out here, and I'm just doing some measurements, and let's put you on the tripod. Why not? Whoa! Didn't like that, huh? So like I was saying, I'm just figuring out how to lay this out so I get the most out of it. But this is all we're making. These are Scotch-eyed auger bits that Self-Reliance Outfitters just came out with this year. They're pretty neat. The idea is that you could carry these in the woods with you if you're bushcrafting, and you can make a stick for a handle, and then have a T-handled auger. Great concept. Very useful. And one of the pieces to the set is a doweling jig. So if you want 3/4 hole, you want a 3/4 dowel, so you can make like a joint with a dowel. You just pound a stick through this, and it will make a 3/4 dowel. So neat set. All I'm doing is making a nice leather pouch, so you keep everything nice and organized. So I got to cut all this up, and then I'll be on my way, start sewing. First I want to show you this. Do a little chainsaw organization. That'll work for now. I want to be able to just grab my saws when I want to use them. So set them on the edge of my loft there until I get time. I'm going to dig a log out of the woods, and I'm going to make a pole that goes from that floor joist down to the floor, and then I'll bore cut the saws into it, stack them up like a tree. All right. Back to work. Alright, so about got these all cut out. I think I figured it out right to get the most yield. Not real happy with the waste I have, but it should come close to what I figured. I'll know here in a minute when I get this leather all cut. This leather's hard to cut. It's hard to get square. It wants to move. I don't trust my square, so I'm having to measure each one. I'm basically just making a 12 by 18 panel. I just picked up one of these yesterday when I was picking up leather. I've known about these, the rotary cutters, but I've never tried one. Yeah, so far I really like it. It's way better than using a razor blade on this type of material. It's thin, so it doesn't lend well cutting with a razor blade, it bunches up too easy. But this rotary cutter, man, it works perfect for this. Nice and sharp. That's real good. So I'm just gonna finish up cutting these. So the order calls for 12, a dozen. And that's what I'm shooting for. So it's basically building any item is a step by step, right? So you got to design, make a pattern, cut out your material, glue it if that's the type of project you're doing, sew it, do the finish work. Now, if you're doing multiple, it's just as easy to do 12 of these all at once. So you cut 12 of them out, then set 12 of them up to sew, then sew 12 of them, then trim the threads on 12 of them, then install the straps on 12 of them. It's production work. It's like an assembly line. You don't move on to the next step till every piece is ready for the next step. And that's how you get your volume. That's what I found. I mean, I guess that's common sense, but that's why I do wholesale work, because it takes just as much time to make 12 of these as it would to make one, only the time's stretched out. I don't know how to explain it, put that in words, but I could make one of these and make $35, or I can make 12 of these and make whatever it is, $300, all in a day. So it's much easier to just ship 12 of these off to the wholesaler, and then I don't have to worry about 12 people coming to me to buy it. You guys get what I'm saying. That was a whole lot of nonsense, but I'll be back. All right, now that I got a whole stack of pieces cut out, I got plenty of rolls cut out of that hide. I'm happy with the yield. I got 15, which is what I figured. So the math was right on. There's 2 left that aren't quite full dimension, so that I got 17 out of there. If I could have just got full dimension out of those last 2 somehow, but they're really not that far off. Still usable. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So right now, I use tape, double-sided sticky tape, to hold my seams together on this type of leather. You can't really do it on veg tan; it's not strong enough, but this leather works fine. So I need to hold these edges together for sewing. So I'm cutting all the pieces of sticky tape I'm going to need to do all of these at once. So and 4 more. I'm cutting them about 5 inches. It's not really precise. It doesn't have to be precise. Alright, now that those all cut out, what I'll do is I'll grab my my piece here, just lay my sticky tape right on the edge. Pull the tape off and flip it up, and that'll hold it in place. What I want to do though is I'm going to just go ahead and let's try it that way. tape can be difficult to peel. I'm going to put my piece down like this, and then I think I'll take a steel ruler, put it on the 5.5 inch mark. Everything's square. I should be able to roll that right up on that. Oh, that's too high. Got my ruler stuck. Well, that might not work, but that's the concept. One thing I have to make sure of is the edges have to be square. So it'll be a little bit trimming. Let's get the idea. Just want to make a nice pouch ready to sew. So I'm going to do that 17 more times. I'll be sewing. Alright, I just saw something real quick here. So what I did is I stuck a piece of tape here as a reference line. So this mat's square, the numbers are square. So lay my piece down next to this for a reference line, get it all squared up, and then just fold this piece up to this tape line. Don't have to mess with the ruler no more. These are the little tips and tricks that you pick up as you go, trying to manufacture this as quick as possible. So stay tuned. Alright, so I'm about out of time for today. I think we're gonna go get some lunch or dinner here in a little bit, but I just want to show you where I'm at. I sewed up my first one here, and excuse me, what I have to do is I have to have a reference or a guide to sew these lines the same. So my first stitch with the foot on the edge of my piece, the presser foot, I'll be a 1/4 inch in, which is what I spec this out, a 1/4 inch seam. So that's easy, but the next one I need to keep straight. So there's a couple ways I could do this. I could mark all of these lines with a pencil, and the pencil mark would go away as you sew. But then I'd have to mark all whatever 17 pieces I've got here, 19. I don't know, I lost count. I'd have to mark every single one. So that's an extra step per unit. Or the other thing I could do is I could clamp a straight edge on my table here, clamp it to my table, and then sew this next line, do all of them, reposition my edge guide, so the next line, do all of them, reposition my edge guide, sew all of them. That would work too. It would probably be a little faster than excuse me, what I'm going to do here. I'm just put tape on my table here. So as long as my edge is lined up with this tape, and I'm going to extend the tape over to the other side of the table for reference. As long as my edge is lined up with the tape, my line will be straight, and then I just move to the next one and then to the next one. And I'll just repeat that on all 17, 18, 20 pieces, whatever is here. I don't know what's here. Lost track. So these are things that you have to think about when you're trying to do some production work. What can I do to make this quick and simple and repeatable as efficiently as possible? Another thing I want to point out on why it's nice to do several of one thing. This sewing machine will sew anything. Well, basically leather-wise. I don't even want to get into switching it over for canvas because it struggles with the lightweight leather. Like this leather is literally the thinnest that sewing machine likes to sew. I'm sure with smaller needles, different tensions, yada yada yada, it would work, but that's not what this machine's for. This machine's made to sew real thick leather, and I mean thick. I've never stalled this machine, and it does it well. So once you have it set up, it's very finicky. So once you have it set up for what it is you're sewing, you really don't want to start messing with the tension and the thread length and all that stuff. And plus, 90% of the time, I don't use a table. The table is only really beneficial when you're working on something like this where it's flat and flimsy. It's nice to have that table to support it. I could do this without the table, but it's much better with the table. So, saying all this to say this, it takes time to set up this machine with the table, change out the needles, swap out my threads because it's a smaller thread, smaller needle, and then adjust the tension and thread length. So you're looking at a 15 to 20 minute setup time per piece, or 15 to 20 minute setup time for this project. So you want to do as many of this project as you can before you move back to your veg tan, and vice versa. When you're working on your veg tan, you're making sheaths. When you're making these, you want to do as many of those sheaths as possible while the machine's set up for that. So I don't like to switch things back. Just get the camera on me. I don't like to switch things back and forth for one or two items. I'd like to, if I was just going to do a one-off item, I might even hand sew it just because it's that much quicker for me versus resetting the machine up to do the next project. So I don't know. Hopefully some of this helps, guys. If any of you are watching this because you're in the leather work and you want to do production stuff, if not, maybe it's just fun to watch how a guy processes it. But I'll be back at this again tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and probably clip this video up right now, get it uploaded. I might do a little bit more tonight, but nothing that's going to be groundbreaking. But I'll get this video clipped up and uploaded, and we'll finish this up tomorrow. And I don't know what else. I got some other things I got to get on the go, and then I got this other big order with the one with the 84 pieces, individual different pieces. I got to get it started, so maybe I'll film some of that if I get started on that tomorrow. So thanks for watching.